Scorpio, right? Watch out. They start looking at you with their deep penetrating eyes and you're lost. So Scorpio is an energy moving inward again, and it is fixed water. And as this class knows, the ruler of Scorpio is Pluto, and Pluto doesn't care what label you apply on it these days. It'll still operate the same. And so the whole archetype of Scorpio, via its rulership of Pluto, will relate to the soul. And the soul having the dual desires, to separate and to return, in regards to connection with Source. And so we will see this same type of energy when it comes to sexuality. Scorpio is a water sign, and water relates to emotions. And as we've all talked about previously and know through our own direct experiences, the soul operates emotionally. And so one of the great misconceptions about Scorpio when it comes to sexuality is it's just interested in the sexual act itself. For the Scorpio, there must be an emotional component to the sexual act. And when that emotional component is not operating, then it is into the distortions. It is into the separating distortions of the sexuality. So what we will find through Scorpio, or the 8th house on a sexual level, is sexual extremes. We will find those extremes that we read about in the books, about people doing the whole kidnap bondage thing, to be totally controlling and possessive. We can also find the extremes of sadomasochism in there because of these dual desires and dual forces. However, what we will also find with Scorpio is this concept that we call soulmates and soul bonding. And so for Scorpio, that sexual act can be some of the deepest moving energy there is. It can literally be the Kundalini rising. So because Scorpio relating to the soul is emotional, and the soul being this deep part of ourself, there's strong psychological components to Scorpio. And so sexually, they can be the great sex detectives. They can penetrate to the depth of what anybody else is like and understand what they are like. And they can penetrate to the depths of their sexual issues and sexual needs, and just osmosisly pick up on those and understand those. And because they can penetrate and figure that stuff out, it's why somebody who has a lot of the Scorpio or 8th house energy can be so hypnotically attracting. Remember the dual desires of the soul. Scorpio is where we face our limitations, where we confront our limitations. And through the confrontation, we can bust out of our limitations and become more than that which we were before. Let me say the same thing another way. We become attracted to that which we perceive we do not have. So we will do the same thing sexually. We will be sexually attracted to that which we perceive we do not have. And through sexual union with that type of partner, osmosis into ourselves more. Everything we talked about at the beginning of this afternoon when we talked about the exchange of the sexual fluids being the exchange of karma and the exchange of wisdom, this is all literally exampled through Scorpio. So when you find the distortions of Scorpio and all of the possessiveness and control issues, then you can see, I've lost my thought there. When you have all of that possessiveness and control, then you can be there's deep fears underneath. And so you don't want to face the limitations. And so you want to be on the control side of it. But what will happen with those types of situations is sooner or later those souls, no matter how much they are trying to tighten the chain, so to speak, tighten the control factor, so to speak, it will blow up in their face.